Good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are healthy and safe at your home. Today in this video we are going to learn about computer language and some problem solving technique. That is chapter number 9. It contains most of the important question of your grades. So I request you all kindly watch video carefully, and if you have doubt you can ask the queries and try to understand the algorithm flowchart examples. All the best.
Question is, write the names and the symbols of the boxes of the given statements. So here statements are given and you have to find out an appropriate box or symbol to represent the flowchart. The first one is to assign a number. If you are going to create a flowchart of any number or comparison between two numbers or more than two numbers, so which box will help you? For this, process box will help you. This rectangle is a process box and it is a name process box. Okay. Now second is to display the result. If you have created a flow chart and you reached at the last result portion, and now you have to tell which shape or which symbol will represent a display or a result. So this trapezium, it is a input and output box. It is called input and output box and it represent as to display the result. Now next is to start the process. Means if you got the question, if you got the problem, now how you are going to start, how it will see that the question is started. So this oval box will represent as a start box. Next is to decide whether a number smaller than the other. Okay, in few of the flow chart comparison is given between more than two numbers. So what will decide or what will show in which the number is the comparison is given between both the numbers, whether you have to decide it is greater or it is lesser or it is more than this. Okay, so which symbol will represent? This symbol is known as the decision box and it helps us to decide whether a number is smaller than the other. Next is, this is a simple example, simple question where you have to create a flow chart to display the greater of the two number. Okay, here number is not given, but you have to create a flow chart. You have to create one idea whether if you are having a two number, how you are going to create a flow chart in between that number. So first we will start with start box. As we know, start box represent with the oval size, and next will be the enter two numbers. Okay, first start, then it is a trapezium to process. All right, and in process we are going to write down the number, the both number. Next, third step will be we have to do the comparison between two digits. All right, and as it is given in the question, we have to display the greater of the two numbers. So is A is greater than B? It is a question. We have to find out the outcome. Now we have two choices. The first is display first number is greater, means the first number will be greater. Okay, it will display Y. Okay, first here it is, if A is greater than B, we don't know which is greater, or we know that A is greater than B. A is any digit and it is greater than B. Now display first number is greater. If A is greater, then display A. Okay, this is the first choice. And the second is display second number is greater. Again, we don't know which number is greater. If second number is greater, then display it. Okay, then Now moving ahead with the next question. Write algorithm for the following questions. Okay, now this is a very simple question. If you are any idea related to any situation, easily you can do it. So the first is to go for a picnic. Suppose you are going for the picnic, so what will be your planning for that event? You have to write an algorithm. So the first step will be start. Whenever you are going to start any flowchart or algorithm, the first will be start option. Okay, it is a kind of new beginning, so you have to represent a new beginning with the start. And the second step will be to decide the picnic venue, date and time. Now the second step will be to decide a place where you are going to picnic. You have to decide a date and time. The third step will be to decide the picnic activity. Okay, after deciding the picnic venue, time and date, the next step will be to decide a activity. If you are going to the picnic, you have to decide what you are going to, how you are going to celebrate or how you are going to enjoy your picnic. The third step will be to hire a vehicle to reach to the venue and come back. Now the fourth step will be you have to arrange a vehicle to reach to the venue and come back. Got it? The next fifth step will be to go to the picnic venue on the decided date. Now the fifth step is the execution, that is you have to go to the picnic at the venue which you have decided at the same date which you have decided earlier. Now sixth step will be to do the activities planned for the picnic. You have to execute all the activities, you have to do all the activities which you have planned before coming to the picnic. Now the seventh step will be come back to school in the hired vehicle. Now next step will be you, after enjoying your picnic, after doing all the activities, you have to come back to the school in the same hired vehicle. Now what is hired vehicle? Hired vehicle means which you have arranged for your picnic. Now the last step will be stop. So if we are going somewhere, most of the time we decide what we have to do, how we have to go, when we have to reach there, at which time we will start our journey. So all these things a kind of algorithm. In a daily life, we used to say a simple word, it is a planning. Okay, whatever we are doing, we do before we do in a plan. Means we are planning, then we are executing that. Now next question is to celebrate New Year. So algorithm can be changed in some situation. Suppose we are deciding to celebrate New Year, we are arranging some activities, we are arranging some fun, so anything can be changed. Here we have completed our activities, our algorithm in 6 steps, and if you want to increase any activities or you want to include any some other activity or events in this celebration, it may be increase or it can be more than 10 steps or 6 steps. So let's see. To celebrate a new year, what is the first step? As I told you, to start a new beginning, the first will be the start option. Okay. Now second will be prepare a guest list for New Year party. Now the second step will be you have to prepare a guest list to whom you are going to invite in your New Year party. You have to prepare a list. Next, to decide the venue, food menu, games, and fun activities for the party. Now you have to decide a venue. You have to decide a place where you are going to celebrate. You have to decide a food. You have to decide a games and some other activities for the party. So this comes in a third step. First, you have to decide to whom you are going to call in your celebration party. Then you have to decide a place, a food, games, and other fun activities. Next, fourth step will be you are going to invite guests for the party. Okay, fourth step is you have to invite them. You have to say you are invited in our celebration. Okay, you have to invite. Now the fifth step will be, now on New Year Eve, get ready and enjoy the party. What will be the next step? You just get ready and enjoy your party. Now the last step will be stop. Means when we are reaching at stop, our whole program, our whole planning get executed by us. Alright, now this is an algorithm part. Now next is to make a tea and coffee. It's a very simple. We have already discussed this before also. So once again, let's see what will be the algorithm to make tea and coffee. First step, again, the new beginning starts with start option or start box symbol. The second step will be to boil a water in saucepan. The first step to make a tea or coffee, first you have to boil a water in a saucepan, and third step will be to add tea to boiling water. Now what will be the third step? Water get boiled and now you have to add a tea. Okay. Fourth step will be to add a sugar to boiling water. You have to add sugar in that boiling water. Fifth, add milk to the boiling water. If your that boiling water completed, you are going to add milk. Now sixth step will be boil this water with all the integrant for 2 minutes. You have added water, you have added sugar, you have added tea, you have added milk, all the ingredient you have added. Now what will be the next step? For 2 minutes you have to boil this water. And seventh step, sieve the tea in a cup. What is sieve? Sieve means channa. Okay, sieve the tea in a cup. And the last step will be stop. Means all the process, all the algorithm which we have planned, we have executed. Now moving ahead with the next question, to celebrate a Teacher's Day. Again, it is a kind of algorithm. If you are going to celebrate a Teacher's Day, how you are going to do? The first step, the first beginning will start with the start option. Second, decide the activities for Teacher's Day like dance performance, plays, and etc. Now the second, what you have to do, you have to decide Teacher's Day activity like a dance performance, plays, and etc. Now step 3, form groups of students and assign the decided activities. Now you have to create a students group and assign them some activities. And what will be the next step? Decide the practice time for each group. Now first you have decided the activities. Next you will decide the group numbers of students, and after that you will decide the timing for the practice of each group. And fifth, each group to practice as per the timing decided in step 4. Now next step will be you have to check whether they are practicing or not, or in that particular time which is given to them. Next will be step number 6, invite the teachers to Teachers' Day celebration. You have to invite the teachers in Teachers' Day celebration. And the next will be to perform the activities planned in step 2 on Teachers' Day. The beginning of this algorithm, you have decided you are going to perform a dance activity, you are going to make a play. So all these activity will be executed when you are going to invite the teacher in front of them. And the last will be stop, means all the things is smoothly conducted. Now this is a very important question. This is, what is a flow chart? What are the features of a flow chart? Now coming to the question again, what is a flow chart and what are the features of flow chart? Okay, flow chart क्या है and उन flow chart के features क्या क्या हैं? Alright, this is a very important question. Now come to the answer. A flow chart is a pictorial representation of an algorithm. It uses boxes of different shapes to represent different types of instructions. These boxes are connected with arrow mark to indicate the flow of operations. A flow chart is a pictorial representation. Just now we have completed 2-3 examples of an algorithm where we are planning some activity, some events, some picnic, okay, or some making a tea or coffee, and that was step by step, okay. All the planning was step by step. That is why it is called algorithm. Whereas in flow chart it is a pictorial. It contains pictures to show our planning. It uses boxes of different shapes to represent different types of instruction. It uses different kind of shapes to show the different type of instructions. These boxes are connected with arrow to indicate the flow of operations. Now the features of a flow chart are, first, it is an easy method to communication. Flowchart is an easy method. With the help of flowchart, you can easily elaborate your problem or you can plan your solution or any event. Now the second is, it is an independent of a programming language. Flowchart is not depending on your programming language. It is free from your programs. It depends on your planning, how you are planning step by step and you are executing it. Now the third is, it is the key to correct programming. If you are making a program with the help of flowchart, it will help you to make and execute your program correctly. Now the fourth one is, it helps to plan and design a new system. If you are planning for something new, it will help you to do a plan. Okay, if you are planning something, first if you are doing something, first thing is what you will do, plan. Okay, after doing planning you will execute it. So for making any plan or making any new thing, first you have to design. Okay, now the fifth one is, it clearly indicates the task to be performed each level. Means if you have planned, if you have created a flow chart of any problem of any program, it will help you to teach you or tell you simply what is going in each and every step by step. Okay, so these are the 5 main features of a flow chart. Now moving ahead, what is an algorithm and what are its characteristics? An algorithm is defined as the sequence of instructions written in a simple English that are required to get the desired results. It helps to solve the fundamental logic of a problem that leads to a solution. As we have already discussed 2-3 examples of an algorithm, and it is very simple definition also. An algorithm is defined as the sequence of instruction. Okay, if you are going to make a T, first you have to start, and starts with a start name, and after that you have to take a water, you have to keep it on gas and you have to lit it. So these all are the instruction which is simply written in a English language, and this steps which you are going to follow after one another is known as algorithm. Now come to the some characteristic of algorithm are as follows. First one is, each step of an algorithm must be precisely defined. Means whenever you are moving ahead in the new step, on the new step, you will see every step is showing us what we have to do or what we have done in earlier one. Now coming to the second characteristic, an algorithm must contain a blocks that will help you to solve problems more than efficiently and logically. When we are creating an algorithm with the help of blocks, it will help us to solve any kind of problem efficiently and logically. Now moving ahead with the third characteristic, it should be accept a set of inputs and procedure a defined output. Means whatever the procedure we are accepting within the algorithm, it will define an output also. Now the fourth one is, it must be terminated after a finite number of steps. Means it must be terminated after a finite number of steps. Means all the steps which we are conducting, which we are planning in algorithm, we can stop it anywhere. Now coming to the fifth one, it should be independent from a computer programming language. Again, algorithm neither depend upon the programming language or nor in any other. So if we are creating any algorithm, that means it is just an idea to start an event. Now the sixth one is, it should develop a platform for writing program. It is just an idea to start a new platform or to solve any question for an upcoming event. Now question number 3, or we can say it's a very important question as well, we have discussed. Define the following and draw their symbols. The first one is process box. A process box is used to represent all type of mathematical tasks like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division and etc. So we have already seen in question number first about this. This is a rectangular box which represent a process box, and inside this box we can do any mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and divisions and etc. Now come to the terminal box. How we can define the terminal box? Terminal box is used to indicate the beginning, that is start, and the end, that is stop, of a flowchart. A terminal box with the word start is used at the beginning, and a box with the word stop is used at the end of flowchart. Now this two oval shape represent as the start and stop. Now next is input and output box. Input and output box is used to represent an input output operation of a task. Statement like input, print, etc. are used in these box. So this kind of trapezium box represent a input and output box where you can input any data, or where if it is input is completed, your output is coming, where result is coming, you can use this kind of trapezium for result as well. Now decision box. Decision box is used to check condition in a flowchart. The decision box has two paths. One if the condition is true and the other is condition is false. So this diamond shape is known as the decision box, and usually this box comes with the two options or two conditions. First is true, if it is true, and second is if it is false.